Are you tired of the same old story? Are you ready to trade the bitter taste of almost for the sweet sensation of a genuine playoff run? For 7 of the last 8 seasons, the Chicago Bulls have been spectators in the postseason, a franchise steeped in championship history, relegated to the sidelines. But what if this year is different? What if a series of shrewd off-season moves, coupled with a daring in-season trade, could finally unleash the sleeping giant within the United Center, transforming a team on the cusp into a legitimate Eastern Conference threat? The air in Chicago is buzzing with a cautious optimism, a feeling that hasn't permeated the Bulls' faithful in far too long. After years of frustrating mediocrity, the 2025-26 NBA season dawns with a renewed sense of purpose. This isn't just another year, it's a year where the front office finally made decisive, promising moves, laying a foundation that screams, we're ready to compete. The days of standing pat, of watching opportunities slip through their fingers, seem to be over. This past offseason, the Bulls demonstrated a level of stability and strategic foresight that has often eluded them. They didn't just re-sign key free agents, they solidified their core. Josh Giddey, Trey Jones, and Emmanuel Miller all recommitted to the Windy City, with Jevon Carter also staying put. Giddey, the brilliant 22-year-old guard who flirted with a triple-double average last season, remains the undisputed centerpiece of Chicago's future, poised to become the franchise's long-term lead playmaker. Surrounding him, the youthful exuberance of Kobe White and Mattis Buzelis promises future upside, while Nikola Vucevic continues to provide that crucial veteran presence in the paint. But the Bulls didn't stop there. They made a significant splash on the trade market, sending Lonzo Ball to Cleveland in a move that brought defensive specialist Isaac Okoro to Chicago. This wasn't just a roster shuffle, it was a calculated upgrade, shoring up their perimeter defense and finally giving them the wing stopper they so desperately needed. They also added Noah Essen with their draft pick, a raw but talented forward whose long-term development could be a major boon. All told, it was a strong offseason, one that not only bolstered their rotation, but also maintained the cap flexibility necessary for future maneuvers. And that, my friends, is where the real intrigue begins. Despite these improvements, the Bulls still find themselves in that precarious middle ground, hovering between play-in aspirations and genuine playoff contention. Yet, the Eastern Conference, in a fascinating twist, appears to be weakening. While the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics still stand tall as the Titans, several other teams have seemingly taken a step back. This presents Chicago with a golden opportunity, a chance to seize control of their destiny. With the right in-season trade, they could not only vault into the playoff picture, but potentially even cause some serious trouble in the first round. 3 names in particular jump off the page as realistic and potentially transformative trade targets, each offering a unique solution to Chicago's remaining puzzles: Jonathan Kuminga, Anthony Simons, and Walker Kessler. For years, Chicago has yearned for a true two-way forward, a player who can serve as the connective tissue between their dynamic backcourt and their veteran frontcourt. Jonathan Kuminga, currently entangled in a contract stalemate with the Golden State Warriors, fits this description with uncanny precision. At just 23 years old, Kuminga has already showcased flashes of genuine star potential, but he remains somewhat stifled by the crowded wing rotation in Golden State. His potent combination of explosive athleticism, defensive versatility, and a rapidly developing offensive skill set makes him a prime candidate for a breakout season if given the larger, more consistent role he deserves. For the Bulls, Kuminga would immediately address their most glaring weakness: wing depth and consistent scoring from the forward position. While Mattis Buzelis is projected to grow into that role over time, it's unrealistic to expect a young prospect to immediately shoulder the responsibility of guarding all-star forwards and consistently producing 15-plus points per night. Kuminga, with his explosive athleticism and burgeoning ability to create off the dribble, could provide that crucial bridge between the present and the future, giving the Bulls an immediate impact player who can grow with their young core. Defensively, imagine the possibilities. Pairing Kuminga with Isaac Okoro would give the Bulls one of the most disruptive perimeter duos in the entire Eastern Conference. That kind of suffocating defensive presence is the exact formula Chicago has been missing in their frustratingly failed playoff pushes over the last several years. Offensively, Kuminga thrives in transition, and he would greatly benefit from Josh Giddey's exceptional passing vision. Picture this: Giddey pushing the ball up the floor, Kuminga filling the lane with his electrifying athleticism, and Buzelis trailing for wide-open spot-up threes. It's the type of young, athletic, and dynamic lineup that could finally bring life and wins back to the United Center. While Josh Giddey masterfully orchestrates the offense with his playmaking and Kobe White provides crucial scoring bursts, the Bulls are still in dire need of a true dynamic guard who can consistently create his own shot against the suffocating defenses of the playoffs. That's where Anthony Simons of the Boston Celtics enters the conversation, a player who could ignite Chicago's offense. Simons, now entering his prime, has unequivocally proven himself to be one of the league's most explosive and versatile scorers. His three-level scoring ability, particularly his prowess from beyond the arc, would immediately give the Bulls an offensive weapon they haven't truly possessed since the days of Zach LaVine. For Chicago, Simons would slide seamlessly into the starting backcourt alongside Giddey, creating a perfectly balanced defensive tandem. His natural inclination as a shot creator would beautifully complement Giddey's pass-first tendencies. Simons averaged over 19 points per game in Portland before his trade to Boston, often doing so with defenses entirely focused on stopping him. In Chicago, he would benefit immensely from the spacing created by Nikola Vucevic's shooting and the endless drive and kick opportunities generated by Giddey. The Bulls' half-court offense, which has often stagnated and looked predictable in recent seasons, would suddenly have a player capable of breaking down defenses at will, injecting much-needed dynamism and unpredictability. The appeal of Simons extends far beyond just his scoring ability. He's still only 26 years old, meaning he fits the Bulls' developmental timeline perfectly. With both Buzelis and Giddey still in their crucial development phases, Simons' presence could alleviate a significant portion of the offensive pressure on them, allowing them to grow organically without being forced into uncomfortable or premature roles. He's not just a scorer, he's a piece that accelerates the development of the entire young core. The final and perhaps most crucial piece of the puzzle for the Bulls may not be on the perimeter at all, but rather deep in the paint. Nikola Vucevic has been a steady and reliable presence offensively, but his defensive shortcomings have long been an Achilles heel for Chicago. That's where Walker Kessler of the Utah Jazz enters the conversation, a player who could provide the defensive anchor the Bulls have been missing for nearly a decade. At just 24 years old, Kessler already possesses elite rim protection instincts and an uncanny ability to gobble up rebounds. His defensive metrics place him firmly among the top young centers in the NBA, and his towering presence would instantly elevate Chicago's interior defense to a level unseen in years. With Kessler patrolling the paint, the Bulls' perimeter defenders could play with far more aggression and confidence, knowing they have a reliable, elite shot blocker behind them to deter drives and clean up mistakes. It's a dynamic that championship-level teams have leaned on for years, a fundamental building block of elite defense, and Chicago has a genuine opportunity to replicate it. Offensively, Kessler's role would be far simpler, but still incredibly impactful. He's not a floor spacer like Vucevic, but he is an incredibly efficient finisher around the rim, thriving as a lob target and a relentless offensive rebounder. With Giddey's exceptional ability to orchestrate pick and rolls, Kessler could find easy scoring opportunities without needing plays specifically called for him. This perfect balance of elite rim protection and opportunistic scoring is exactly the kind of role player Chicago has lacked. Furthermore, pairing Kessler with Vucevic could also allow the Bulls to experiment with different front-court combinations, adapting their lineup depending on matchups and tactical needs. The Utah Jazz, meanwhile, are still very much in a transitional phase as a franchise and could be open to moving Kessler for the right package of assets. For Chicago, this would not only be a significant investment in the present, immediately shoring up their defense, but also a crucial investment in the future, as Kessler has the potential to be a defensive cornerstone for the next decade. The Chicago Bulls are entering the 2025-26 season with a palpable sense of optimism, genuine momentum, and a very real opportunity to finally break their long-standing playoff drought. Their offseason moves were strong, building a solid foundation. But in a wide-open Eastern Conference, where the margins between success and disappointment are razor-thin, the difference between another play-in disappointment and a genuine playoff breakthrough could very well come down to a single, bold, and transformative trade. Jonathan Kuminga could provide the two-way wing depth they desperately need, bridging the gap between their young core and immediate contention. Anthony Simons could give them the explosive scoring firepower to compete with the East's elite guards, igniting their stagnant half-court offense. And Walker Kessler could anchor the defense, bringing much-needed stability and elite rim protection to the paint. What's your take? Which of these potential targets do you think could make the biggest difference for the Bulls? Or do you have another player in mind who could finally push Chicago over the hump? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're as excited as we are about the Bulls' chances this season, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the conversation. We want to hear if you believe a bold trade could truly bring playoff basketball back to the United Center.